What is going on, Governors? School here, and today we're gonna barb farm and stream. My goal here is to max out the Halloween chest, which we're super close. The only thing we need to do is kill some barbarians. And I say some barbarians, but we actually mean 90 barbarians. So we're gonna kill some barbarians, we're gonna chill. We got 4 hours to do it, but I think we'll finish up in 30 to 40 minutes. And while we're just getting set up here, I'm going to fire up the chat and see who is joining us. I'd be sort of curious to hear how far you got with your Halloween chest and whether or not you think you're going to make it to 100. My hope, my sincere hope, is oopsies. Fix the volume here. My sincere hope is that there is something special we get at exactly 100. I am not sure that that is actually going to be the case. So I'm just going to update the title of this stream to Barb, Farm, and Chill. That seems like a cool title. We're going to max the Halloween chest. Join us for some Barb smashing goodness. Yeah, that sounds good. And, along the way, we can talk about what some of the best ways are to kill barbarians and answer any questions that you've got. All right. We have updated the title of the stream, and we're going to go pull up the chat now. Here we go. Cool. All right. Hey, bro. How should we call you? Okay, so it's pronounced Chiscool. Chiscool. It's actually from World of Warcraft. I was making a troll warrior, and I made up a name that sounded kind of like a troll, and I feel like that was like a really good troll name. It's Chiscool. My City Hall level is 21. I am working my way toward 22, but 22 is really intense. So not only do you need to upgrade the wall, but you need to upgrade the hospital. And not only do you need to kind of upgrade the hospital, but the hospital requires the archery range to go to 21. So that takes quite some time to pull off. I'm close on the archery range. I'm up to 19. I'm close, but not quite there yet. What civilization are you? I really like the way the buildings look here. I am Japan. I think the buildings look pretty sweet. So let's do this. Let's pull one of my gatherers back. Let's see. Let's find a close one. Oh, that's a good one. We'll bring Joan of Arc back. Even though she's almost finished that, I'll finish it off later, I promise. And we're going to go hunt some barbarians. 90 packs to go. I would, so Abel's asking if I am pay to win or free to play. I would classify myself as a dolphin. So the spectrum is free to play, dolphin, and then whale. And whale is someone who spends a ton of money in the game. Dolphin is someone who spends very, very strategically and is unafraid to do so when they feel like there's really good value. And I would say that's where I kind of fall. All right, so we're going to get rolling on these barbarians. And there's two groups that I'm using. The first is something that I powered up just yesterday, and I've got a video coming out to talk about it. It's a combination of Minamoto and Cao Cao, and I think they are going to be insane together. So we're going to send them out, and then also we are going to use Lohar with Kusunoki. So they are well on their way. Yes, Angel is calling out that my clanmates are going to hate me for not finishing my resource tiles. It is true that that was kind of uncool. I will say this. I am currently way far away from my alliance mates, and there's kind of a long story here. But we were all located by this level 3 pass before we went and we took the pass. And after we took it, folks all started moving in. Now, the thing is, I like to farm resources like a madman, like a super madman. So for perspective here, and I'm just going to make sure I keep an eye on my barb farming. Let me send these to the next pack, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. So we're going to take on this level 20. Bada boom, bada boom. So when I say that I'm a madman when it comes to farming, if we look at resource gathering, I am number 7. I am number 7 on resource gathering, even though I only have 4 gatherers and I'm competing against people that have 5 gatherers. So I'm going to be making a video over the coming days that talks about how I farm like a madman. So part of the reason that I'm far away from my alliance and I haven't moved up to where everybody else is yet is I want to have a lot of space to be farming within our flags, which, by the way, you read those flags, you read that info button, and like, I don't know about you, but I like read every info button in the game where I can to try and learn how things work. But when you farm within your flags, you get a 25% resource gathering speed increase, and that is monster. Huge. How far am I with T4? I haven't even started researching Catapult Tier 4. I have been focused first on Cavalry because I have Minamoto, and I wanted to focus in on Cavalry, then on Infantry because that's my special unit, and then lastly, I just unlocked Archers like yesterday, and a part of the reason I did that, I was being very strategic. I could have used my speed ups to unlock it shortly after I started researching it, but I wanted to wait until there was an event, and in this case, Game of Power showed up, and then boom, popped all my speed ups, unlocked that tech and a couple other things. For a while, I was actually in the top 10 for this event. I don't think I'm even in the top 40 anymore. So we're just kind of cruising around killing these barbarians, and it's worth mentioning that the reason I'm using 2 groups, and it might even be better off using 3 groups, but the reason I'm using 2 is that I could just run around with Lohar and Minamoto, but it would take forever. And if I've got 2 groups, I can battle higher levels of barbarians without taking as many casualties, which means I'm getting better loot. And every army that beats or is a part of like a contribution to defeating a barbarian group gets credit for 1 barb kill. So for every pack we kill, we're getting credit for 2, which is pretty good. Oh man, Spooby D in the house. What's going on, man? Spooby. Let's see here. Rex is asking, what is the best set of free-to-play cavalry commanders? Glad you asked about that. I'm pretty interested in cavalry, and I'll show you in just a second here. So I think that you've got a couple really good options. One really exceptional option, and this is the most free-to-play route, is to use Dragon Lancer. Dragon Lancer has a 10% increase to march speed, and it's very easy to unlock his skills because he's an advanced commander, and because he's an advanced commander, he takes half as much experience to level up as other commanders. I honestly think Dragon Lancer is very underrated and very, very powerful. Next up, if you wanted to have a bit stronger of a cavalry unit, but more investment, you could use someone like Lancelot. And Lancelot, you could skill up a whole heck of a lot because he's just a blue commander. However, he also has a bunch of really good cavalry talents. And then the final consideration might be Pelagius. And Pelagius is an epic commander, and it's going to be a lot harder to get his sculptures, but his skills increase the amount of damage and defense that cavalry have, which is also really powerful. It's not a speed unit, but it is a very strong unit. So if you are like 100% free to play, I would consider doing Lancelot and Dragon Lancer because you could level up Dragon Lancer very, very easily, and Lancelot could be the secondary commander. You don't have to invest quite as much to get them both going really, really high. Okay. Abel, can I stay in touch with you somewhere? I'm from a gaming tournament app, would love to stay in touch. Yes, sir. I've got my contact information on my YouTube page, which is perhaps a little bit bold. So Discord is the best way to reach me, and my info is in there. Would love to stay in touch. Yeah, Spooby is pointing out, if you went with Spain as your starting civilization, then using Pelagius is absolutely a slam dunk. And going for cavalry unit in that way is really, really good. Definitely agree with that. Oh, on my banner. Yeah, sure. Oh, this is really bold. Yes, my governor profile. Here you go. Oh, banner in my YouTube. Well, yeah. I show this screen here in a bunch of my videos. I've had a few people send me direct messages in game, and they were really nice, and I actually was really appreciative of that. So we're cruising along here, and the thing that's kind of interesting about getting the maximum number of barbarians is that right now I'm not at all concerned about loot. The thing that I'm trying to maximize is the number of barbarians I kill per action point spent. So rather than hunting these bigger groups, these level 23 packs, I really should be hunting the lower groups, like the sub 18, because I can do a lot of those with a low amount of action points. So I'll show you next time that I'm pretty sure the amount of action points for my Lohar group is only 30 per barbarian group now, and with my Minamoto group is 40, and that's because I haven't picked up the Packlight talents on Minamoto. And, it's something I thought a lot about because, like, look, Cao Cao and Minamoto as a combination have a huge amount of damage to barbarians as a part of their skills. However, and you can see here, it's 30 action points for Lohar, and it's probably 40 now for Minamoto. I wanted Minamoto to be a part of a really powerful attacking unit rather than diverting some of those skills to PvE and battling barbarians. We are on Kingdom 51. Kingdom 51. Only very recently did the level 3 pass become unlocked, and it was a pretty contentious affair, actually. The alphas on our kingdom blocked this group's Strength and Honor from entering the pass and have subsequently allowed us to kind of take control of that pass. So Strength and Honor is all but diminished as a guild, and my understanding is that, that they somehow got into a fight with the alpha, which generally doesn't make sense. And my understanding is that it was over something that, well, maybe is like an argument in Kingdom chat, and I don't know. Kingdom chat is a very dangerous place. If you're participating there, please only send positive messages because the chance of starting a war is remarkably high, and it's just not worth it. So you're on server 82, Abel, and you're getting the pass in 1.5 weeks. Yeah. So my guidance to you about getting that level 3 pass is going to be to position yourselves early so that you can battle it. You want to have your flags leading up to it, and you also want to have a ton of flags saved up so that, or I guess it's not flags saved up, but resources saved up, so that when you actually do take the pass, you can start to build flags in there. We didn't do a great job of that. We demolished a bunch of flags that we had down. This is where we were kind of located before, around the shrine. And the shrine is a great place to be located around before level 3 is opened. And we had flags all over the place over here. And we deleted them because the more flags you have, the higher the cost is for creating new flags. So I don't know that that's the best strategy. So I would just be cautious of being overzealous with flag building before you take the level 3 pass. All right, let's zoom way in here. Me and my allies went into Kingdom chat to laugh at our enemies who tried to attack us. Then, when we attacked back, they asked for help from our family alliance. Oy, oy, oy. Yeah, a lot of drama in Kingdom chat. So we're going to take this battle, even though it's a piece of cake, because we want to minimize the amount of action points we need to use up. So the more we can go around fighting these lower levels, the better. In some ways, I should just consider spawning level 12 barbarians over and over, but that just seems kind of boring. So if we get a look at our Haunted Halloween here, we're up to 32 out of 400. We still have quite a ways to go. We will get the shrine just less than a week left. Cool, man. The shrine is really awesome. I feel like core to an alliance's strategy should be gathering a lot of these shrines and sanctums and altars. And I feel like we're not positioned very well for that, if I'm honest. I think something we did really well was always getting the most powerful ones. But then we sort of burned the trail behind us as we went. So we started all the way over here in this area. Here it is, by this guy. The surge altar, I think is what it was. And we spread out like crazy. But as we moved into the new area, we relinquished control of those so that our feeder guild, plus UE, could then take control of those points. And so the advantage is that our feeder guild has access to like a ton of altars and sanctums, but we've only got one shrine, which seems weird. So I'm pretty sure we're gonna be doing more hunting for shrines in the coming weeks, but I don't know exactly what that's gonna look like right now. How long would it take to kill 200 barbs if I wait for the 1,000 action points to refill and not buy action points? That is a fair question. While I send my guys off to go, actually, maybe I should go back to town. Have we hit that point? I don't think so. No, we're gonna take it. It's a hard fight. We're gonna win. I'm not worried about it. The game, obviously, now we're out of action points, so the game can't very cleanly assess how hard this battle is because we're actually sending 2 units, not 1. So if you go up to the upper left and tap your little portrait, and then tap the question mark next to action points, you can see the amount of time it's going to take for your action points to refill back up. And that was a really helpful thing for me to have figured out, because you can kind of optimize around that. And I have been saving a lot of action point potions for special events. So this is an example of an event where, and for those of you that are joining late, my objective here is to get the Halloween gift, here it is, maxed out. And the only thing I have left is maxing out this chest, which I'm definitely going to make a video to show like what that looks like when you open it up. And my hope is at exactly 100, there's some extra reward. I actually kind of doubt that will be the case, but if there is, I'm going to find out. So technically we're doing this for science, folks. Okay, so this is going to be a close match. My Lohar is getting beat up here, but because he's got a heal, I think he's going to sustain for long enough for my Minamoto Cao Cao unit to be nuking pretty hard. I need 200 barbs and 25 things in the courier shop. Yeah, those are pretty tough to get at the last minute. And, look, I don't actually think there's going to be something special at exactly 100 sculptures. But if there is, like, I'm a YouTuber, I figure I ought to figure it out and share it with everybody. So that's kind of part of my motivation here. So one of my gatherers just came back. I'm going to just send them out to clean up this node over here, as promised. Bada boom. And I think it's time that we send these troops back to town. Something I should have done a better job with is healing along the way. But I'm going to have plenty of troops to go out and hunt with, so this is going to be fine. Just to make that be a little bit easier, I'm going to speed up this group of cavalry. I have a ton of speed ups, and we'll crank out some more cavalry. I think I'm going to make a separate video talking about whether or not you should be upgrading or you should be doing kind of new units. I'm going to do some new units. We'll set it about 9 hours. Make sure that gets done before I go to bed. So you can see now I now have a ton of mail, by the way. Ton of mail. And a little trick, if you don't actually care about the contents of each of these messages, it won't let you delete unread messages. So even though I hit delete all, it only deletes the red ones. But if you hit read all and then delete all, good to go. Easy peasy. And the same is sort of true. We're getting all this Halloween candy lined up. If you want to get all of that to your inbox or to your inventory without having to click into every one, you just hit read all. We got 17 candy boxes, which I feel pretty good about. And our troops have come back to town. So, and our gatherers are on their way back. Sweet. So let's go find something else to gather. We'll grab this level 4. Let's get the wood. We could use that. And then we're going to go back out and hunt some barbarians here. And we're going to start with this close pack. Bring some new troops. We're going to start with this combination. And because we've got some folks in the hospital right now, you have to kind of like manually adjust up to hit max army size. And we're going to run them out, and then we're going to get our next unit going, which is with Lohar, and that is a full unit, so we're going to run that out. And we are back in business hunting barbarians. Can you get the permanent City Hall theme free to play? I don't see how it's possible. I'm not sure that it is possible. It was a very fair question. That is a part of the reason why I'm trying to hit 100. When you look at what is contained within here, and I'm just going to make sure I keep an eye on my barbarians, but if you read the little info tip, it says that you get Halloween candies from that chest. And I don't know if Halloween candies includes sugar skulls. Like, is that a candy? Or does that not qualify as candy? What I'm sure does qualify as candy is the little green Halloween candies. So if that chest contains only those Halloween candies, I'm not going to say I'm going to be disappointed. But if it all contains is these, I will be maybe a little bummed. And you know what I've not gotten out of the Halloween candy box is one of the skins. Theoretically, you can get a temporary skin. I haven't seen one. While we're waiting for my troops to kind of get into position, let's kind of open some of these and see what happens here. So we'll go 10 at a time. We've got 230. Hey, second hit. We finally did it. We've got the 3-day trick-or-treat skin. That's cool. That's cool, and it looks like you get that instead of a candy, which is kind of neat. We'll open up a few more of these real quick and see if we get another one. And then we'll go back to watching our barbarians. I mean, you will really fly through these and not get a ton of stuff besides the candies. But I'll say this. Like, look, these candies are awesome. You can trade in the candies for... Where are we? Halloween gifts. You can trade in the candies for this guy over here, a pick one resource chest. That is the best kind of resource chest you can get. I mean, obviously a higher tier of it will be better, but the pick one can be turned into whatever you need. So when I'm opening resource chests because I'm low on resources, or if I'm using resource tokens, the pick one is the very last one that I expend because it can turn into whatever you need, which is pretty powerful. So 10 of those candies can turn into something like 50,000 resources, which is pretty decent. The Halloween event is sort of ending tonight. So the portion that lets you earn the rewards toward that chest ends tonight. But the other, let's see, the ability to claim rewards is for a whole nother day. And I just want to keep an eye on my barbarian hunting group here. We're going to go after this 23, which is going to be interesting. We got two groups, so we feel fine about that. And let's see here. The festival parade. Yeah, the festival parade only lasts 3 hours, 36 minutes. So getting those candies from map collection, defeating barbarians, and barbarian forts for the jack-o'-lanterns is ending very, very soon. So I'm pretty sure that soon the only thing that you'll be getting is the ability to claim your rewards. Abel is saying that they got to City Hall 20 on their 27th day of playing as a free-to-play. That seems pretty darn good to me. What's your power at overall? I can't remember exactly when I unlocked City Hall 20 and 21, but I will say this. When I unlocked 21, it was a pretty big threshold that I crossed from before the issue was, do I have enough speed ups? And now the issue is, do I have enough resources? And I'm also out of speed ups, by the way. So now I need resources and speed ups. But I'll just show you real quick that you need a monster amount of resources to upgrade the City Hall. Not to mention all the other stuff leading up to it. 24 million food, 24 million wood, and 10.6 million stone. And I'll show you the hospital in just a second here. I'm going to get some more of these siege weapons cooking up. The hospital, oh, I can't show you what it costs to upgrade, I think, because I've got troops healing. I'll show you in a minute. I mean, it's like 4 to 6 million of each resource as well. It's pretty nuts. City Hall resources is 50% higher at each level. Wow, that sounds about right. It really has jumped up a whole heck of a lot. Drunk Sheep enjoying the stream. Hey, really appreciate it. We're just sort of Barb farming and chilling here, which I thought would be a pretty funny name for the stream. You Watch Me is saying how to get the skulls. So the skulls are available from the Halloween event on day 1, the daily business. So basically, every day you get in, you're getting some of those skulls. However, you can only get 10 that way, and to get more, you had to get packs during kind of a 3-day window. They had special packs that did that and contained those, and now they're not available. So my hope is that in the Halloween chest, there'll be more of them, because, like, look, these rewards are nuts. They're super good. I would love to get more Legendary Commander sculptures. I would love to get more Dazzling Starlight sculptures, which, by the way, these are going to become the critical factor really, really quickly for you when you're upgrading Legendary Commanders. How many days did it take you to get from 19 to 20 on the City Hall? I honestly don't remember, but what I'll say is this. Whenever I'm doing a major upgrade like the City Hall, I try to not use speed ups to finish it off. And I wait until there's a big event so that when I use the speed ups, it's kind of doing double duty. So like right now, there's a game of power going on. So I was researching tier 4 archers and I only finished them off once this event was live. And like, look, you don't know when these events are coming, so you kind of do the best you can. But I really like to wait for when there's like a multiple set of payoffs for finishing something off. Benny's is asking, I have 7K gems. What should I buy? I think that's a really good question. I can tell you what you should not buy, and then I'll share with you what you should buy. So what you should not buy is speeding up research and speeding up construction. That is really, really expensive use of gems. So if I go into something that I'm building here, and we're just going to keep this hospital healing going. Let's see. I mean, when you start building something, it'll ask you if you want to like instantly complete it for some number of gems. That is really expensive. What I like to use gems for, and what I would recommend, is in the Mysterious Merchant. Frequently, there will be things in the top row that are 90% off for gems for resource goodies. And yeah, I love those resource tokens that are 90% off. The ones that are 80% off are just okay. You actually get better deals frequently in the VIP shop. And Abel is smartly pointing out that if you aren't VIP 6, that is really, really good to get to. At VIP 6, you can have a second builder, and you really want to have a second builder going. Stefano, hey, good to see you as well, my friend. All right, how are our troops doing here? These guys are looking a little bit low. I want to, let's smash this 13. It's right here. It's kind of on our way back. We don't mind that the loot's not as good because we're optimizing for our action point spend somewhat. We're not going out of our way for it, but since they're right there, we'll do it. As you can see here, I'm all the way up to VIP 9. I really put my money where my mouth is on upping the VIP level. And there was a special time to update your VIP level during this Halloween event. And it's the only time I have ever seen in the game that you can get some sort of additional benefit for updating your VIP, which is that they had some event where when you spent gems, you got bonuses. And so that's when I invested, I think, 35,000 gems in VIP level. And let me tell you, it is a ton of VIP points to get to VIP level 10, which is the promised land, by the way. At VIP level 10, you get a gold key and a legendary commander sculpture every single day, which seems really, really good to me. But it's like another 75,000 points to get there. And like, do I have 75,000 gems to spend? No. Currently, I do not. Um, so Benny's, you're not VIP 6. I would get to VIP 6 with those gems. And the reason, and I can pull this up, is that at VIP 6, as I was mentioning, you get this second building queue. And by the way, 10% gathering and building speed is amazing. It's amazing. Cool. Benny's, you're relatively new here at City Hall 11. Yeah, I mean, you've got a fun journey ahead of you. Getting to VIP 6 is going to help out a lot. You're going to get 2 builders going at all times, which is really good. And you might already have some of those items that let you have a second builder. So you can wait until those have expired before you decide, now I'm going to use VIP points and make this permanent. I think that's totally fine. And it looks like you need 11,500 VIP points total. So look, if your gems can't get you that distance, it makes sense to wait. It makes sense to wait until you do have enough gems. Because I don't know how much, we can take a look here. How much benefit do you really get at VIP level 5? 10% action point recovery is kind of nice. The research and training speed is kind of nice. The build speed is nice. I mean, you do get some benefits along the way. And it's worth mentioning that although I didn't look at the chests just now, the daily chest that you get also gets better and better. Now, this would be a really hard fight to take down a 20. I don't know that... Yeah, we don't have the power to do that now, but we can take this 15. That seems like a fine choice. And we have another gatherer who came back. As I mentioned, I am a gathering fiend. I'm going to send... I guess we could go for some stone. Let's see. Oh, yeah. What a great combination for gathering stone. Okay, Stefano's asking, Chis, today I used a lot of speed ups to push tier 3 troops. Was that a good move? Did you use speed ups to train the troops, or did you use speed ups to increase the, or to research the unlock for them, the ability to create them? Benny's is getting 2K gems for their challenge in one day. Nice. I'd love to hear a little more about that. That is a lot of gems. Hey, Simon says, what's up? How's it going? Thanks for joining us today. Really appreciate everybody joining us in the stream. For those who have just joined, we are barb farming and chilling. We're trying to max out our Halloween chest. We are at 99 out of 100. We're going to get to 100, and either tonight or tomorrow morning, I'm going to show a video of me opening up that chest, and we see what's in it. I hope there's something better because we got to 100. I sort of doubt that will be the case, but, you know, governor can dream, right? Let's see here. Oh, good. We have a 13 outside of our... Before we go, use more action point potions. How close are we? Day 2. We're at 64. So we're going to still have to kill a bunch more of these. So we're going to use a 500 action point potion. We have a bunch of action point potions. I kind of made a mistake, which was not going super aggressively for Lohar at the early game. Because now I'm using him, and I've got his skills at like 4, 3, 2, 1. It's just not incredible. And if I had realized that Lohar is pretty good at the one thing that he does, which is Barb packs, exactly like how I'm doing them right now, I probably would have invested in him more heavily. And one little trick, by the way, is that after you start the combat, you can camp your troops, and they'll still battle. Yep. There we go. I think I accidentally returned them to town instead of battling, which is kind of awkward, except we needed to go to town anyways. Yeah, Lohar is wrecking. Yeah, Lohar is a monster in all the right ways. All right, we got these guys back in town. In just a couple seconds, there we go. Those units are ready. We'll get the healing going. And obviously, if you kind of keep your healing going on an ongoing basis, rather than like waiting until you need to heal everything all up at once, you can take advantage of the fact that every time someone helps you, they chunk typically like a minimum of 3 minutes off of the total time. And so you can heal up a whole heck of a lot faster if you do it that way, based on the alliance help that you're getting. I'll explain that a little better in a second. Let's keep the party going. We're going to send in Cao Cao and Minamoto again. This battle's going to be a piece of cake, starting with this level 20, and we're going to send Lohar and Kusunoki. I really like Kusunoki. Kusunoki has an AoE attack, so there's a chance that if barbarians are grouped up, he will aggro other packs onto him, which is really bad if you're not in a good position and ready for it. But for the way that we're hunting today, that's almost exactly what we want. And if you don't camp him, he's going to run back to town and the combat will break off. But if you camp him, he'll defend himself and you get an extra Barb pack, and it didn't cost you any action points for that, which is pretty sweet. So I'm going to try to actually camp these guys. There we go. And we're going to hunt this 22 first. Bada boom, bada boom. Getting closer and closer to finishing this off. And as I'm going here, I can hit read all and delete all to clear out all of these messages about the battles we've been doing. Read all is going to pick up all these candies, which is pretty sweet. And wow, we're getting a lot of gems doing this, more than I expected. I had a good friend try to figure out like if you could break even on the cost of gems versus the action points, but you can't. You can't. If you run out of action points, you can spend gems to sort of power that back up. But every time you do that within a 24-hour period, it costs more and more gems. So there's no world in which you actually can go infinite, if you will, farming barbarians by virtue of getting gems from killing them. If not backing to city after attacks, your action points for next battle is a little bit lower. Yes. Yes, that is the strategy I'm using, is that as the durability of the armies is decreasing, the number of units that's in them is decreasing by virtue of all the combat, instead of going back to town each time, we are letting them stay out and taking advantage of the fact that the action point cost is going down. Yes. And, look, like, we're not trying to get maximum value right now on getting, like, the highest level barbarian packs possible killed for the amount of, I guess, action points we're spending. We're not worried about that. Our goal is to just get to 400 spending sort of the least amount of action points possible. You should use Boudica instead of Kusunoki. That is true. If I had the skills on Boudica powered up, I would absolutely be using Boudica. And actually, Boudica is the main reason that I recommend Britain as the starting civilization for most players. I've recommended that to multiple friends who've gone that route. They have Lohar, they have Boudica, they often buy some amount of Minamoto, and like they are kicking butt because they've got a lot of anti-barbarian stuff. And Boudica, by the way, if you read her talents closely, the first skill that increases her barbarian damage dealt also increases the experience gain from barbarians by 20%, which is pretty exceptional. You Watch Me is saying that they search for level 10 barbarians. They show up close to my base all the time. Yes, so the reason that they always show up to your base, near your base, is that up to level 12 of barbarian, when you search for them, it actually will spawn a new group of barbarians right outside your base, which is kind of a nice feature to help out a beginning player. Later on, once you get to 13 plus, you got to go running around the map to go and find them, which is another reason why it's kind of advantageous that, like, right now I'm sort of far away from all my alliance members. As soon as this event is over, I'm going to port over to be probably in this area. I don't know, to be determined exactly where I end up. I want to be close enough to join rallies, but I want to be far enough that I can get a ton of resources to myself within our flags. Because when you farm within your flags, you get 25% increased farming speed, which, have I mentioned? I did, but I'll say it again for emphasis. Have I mentioned that's really, really good? Do I have any tips for defending? Yeah. So, Benny, tell me a little bit more about that question. Are you kind of worried about someone attacking you overnight, for instance, or what situation are you trying to defend? Like an allies town, maybe a pass? Frosty Ice. I have 99 of the 100 challenges complete. The only one not complete is the 400 barbarians. Yep, that is literally why we are doing this right now, to try to take advantage of the maxed out chest, and we're hoping there's something that's better in it. We don't know that there is, and I actually think it's very likely that there isn't, but we are doing science to learn whether or not that is the case. Okay, so Benny, to sort of answer your question about defending, there's a couple things to think about. The first is that you want to make sure that your hospital capacity is really high. Because if you're defending against another player, some of your troops are going to die and some of them are going to become injured. And there's this thing called zeroing out. When someone zeroes you out, it is when someone who's way, way stronger teleports next to you and attacks you repeatedly, killing your troops and injuring your troops over and over. And before you can heal them up, your hospital capacity fills up. And once your hospital is full, instead of being severely injured units, um, the ones that would become severely injured just die, which is really, really bad. So that is one of the first things I would be thinking about if you need to be defending. The next thing I would be thinking about is setting your defensive commanders. And I'll explain that in just a second. Where are we going to go to find barbarians? Look at all these high-level packs. We're not really in a position to take 23s and 22s anymore. We're getting kind of low. There's more 23s and 22s over there. I guess we'll jump down over this way to this 15. And while we go do that, I can show you what I mean. So you can set who is going to defend your town. By default, it is going to use the highest level units you have. But if we go to this wall, and you can see now the highest level units I have in town are Tomo and Gaius. If I tap the info button, no. There we go. If I tap on the commanders that are defending, I can swap out who those defenders are. So something you might want to think about is setting it so that the secondary commander is a commander that has defensive skills. So for instance, I use Kusunoki, and Kusunoki increases garrison damage, which is pretty good. The other thing to think about is if you are putting talents onto commanders that are more defensive in nature, you might want to make sure that they are the first commander that is also going to defend. From the Halloween candy box, do you get Halloween castle decoration? I actually got one of those for the very first time in this stream, which was pretty amazing. And it was actually the very second group of candy boxes I opened. So I have opened at least 500 of these candy boxes, I feel like. In fact, we can show you. How many have we done? Yes, 529 that we've opened so far. And I had not gotten a single skin. And now we got one. And so let's do this. Let's go into my items. And let's open up some more of these boxes. We'll go 10 at a time. And we're going to blaze through these. And let's see if we get any more of the skins. I would be really surprised if I did. I think we got a 3-day skin. It's also possible to get a 7-day skin, I think, from this approach. We are already at 97 candy boxes remaining, and it is not looking like we are going to get another one of these skins. Oop, looks like our barbarian hunters just finished up. Let's send them out to another battle. Kill this level 19. While that's going on, we can claim all of these and read and delete all of these, and we'll open up a few more. Ooh, yeah, Benny, that's a tough one. So he's saying, one of our alliances has betrayed us for more space, and now they have a huge advantage, such as bigger armies and stronger armies. How do I defend against that? That's a tough one. What's the total power of your alliance and all of the family alliances you have? And what's the total power of their alliance and all of the family alliances they have? My my guess here, from what you've said, is that you probably need to use diplomacy to get out of this situation, if you can. If the power difference is too large, you might need to find some other allies and become a feeder guild to another guild. And that comes with a lot of advantages. And although you're sort of tied down, you have protection from someone much, much stronger. And like I said, it comes with its constraints, but it also comes with advantages. That advantage in this case is that hopefully that alliance will protect you. So to give an example, I don't know if we started a feeder guild early on, or if we sort of absorbed another guild and they became a feeder. But Plus UE is one of our family alliances, and theoretically, their members kind of feed into our alliance when they are strong enough. And I say theoretically because I haven't actually watched to see if that's where we're getting people from. But when we would go to war, like we would go together as a group, and having, a whole lot more strength combined than we would have otherwise. Gambino, hey, what's going on? We are barb farming and chilling. We've got only 11 more barbarians to go. So we are super close to just finishing this off. And then later tonight, we're going to find out if we get special stuff by virtue of completely maxing out that Halloween chest. And that's the goal. That is the goal. So in the meantime, while we're hunting all these barbarians, we're just doing some Q&A, answering your questions about kind of whatever you want to ask about related to Rise of Civilizations. I will say this. I had been watching videos from other YouTubers, and I was sort of curious what the little icon in the upper right was. So right now it's like a bag full of speed ups and a little targeting thing here. And I thought maybe that the Road to Greatness bundle like just kind of continued on. So for instance, I don't know why this is the case, but for some players it looks like a little beaker in the upper right, and I kind of wonder why that is. Renatus Stonkis. In my kingdom, we go to war as a group, and then 46 million power dude kills everyone. So much fun. Yeah, so that's a tough one. That's a tough one. It's challenging because I don't want to say that a lot of the politics in the kingdom are determined by a handful of very, very powerful players, but it would be misleading to say that a handful of very, very powerful players don't have a supremely profound influence on the outcome for your kingdom. They do. They really do. um, ah. So, Benny, this is a tough one. If it sounds like you're in the early game and you're evenly matched against another kingdom, or another alliance, rather, but your alliance members are really hesitant to actually go and do battle. And that's tough because, like, it's their prerogative whether or not they want to go and do battle, but you might need to find an alliance that is a better fit for your level of activity. You'll have to see kind of if you like the way your leadership handles this situation, or if maybe it's time to find a new home. You Watch Me is on Kingdom 54. Nice. So your level 3 pass opened up very recently, right? Stefano saying, my only fear at the moment is to be destroyed by a powerful player. I can't recover from a big loss. Yeah, so that is something called zeroing out, which we were talking about a little bit earlier, where someone just sort of teleports in and attacks you over and over. So, for instance, my position right now is incredibly dangerous. It's incredibly precarious because someone could teleport in, they could hit me a bunch of times, and because I'm at like the very edge here of our flag line, they could literally teleport almost on top of me. and hit me in a matter of less than a minute and kill a bunch of my troops, get my hospital capacity so full that instead of getting severely injured units, they all just die off. And it could happen while I'm not even online. This is why I feel like a very strong defensive formation for flags is actually a large square and putting your cities kind of in the middle so that someone can't just like teleport next to you and then zero you out before you can even figure out what's happening. So we're super close to finishing this off. I think what we're going to do that is search for some level 12 barbarians and just kind of do that the easy way and burn the least amount of action points possible. So you see when I search for a 12, they spawn right next to the town. So we'll go battle them. The only problem with their spawning so close to town is that it's very hard to catch them in time before they go back into town. So we might actually end up using one unit to finish this off, and that would be Lohar. We will see. There are advantages and disadvantages to being the outskirts of your alliance. It's so true. It's so true. Because I'm on the outskirts of my alliance right now, I have a whole lot of resource nodes just to me. And I'll show you in a second. For those of you that have been here a while, you saw I am a resource gathering fiend. I'm number 7 in my kingdom right now for resource gathering, which I feel pretty good about. All right, so we have camped Lohar. We're going to let Minamoto go back into town. And we're just going to hunt some 12s to finish this off. Super easy, super fast. And while we're hunting 12s, let's get some more resource farming going. Ooh, level 5 farm looks good. I see that level 6 gold mine, but I don't really need gold at the moment as much as I need the food and the wood and the stone. Let's do our little verification before we run out of time. And we are almost at that magical 100. So close. We're now going for maximum action point efficiency at 30 action points a pop. There's nothing you can do about it if you're getting zeroed out. Yeah, the only thing you can do if you're getting zeroed out is to use a shield. Peace shield should protect you. Wait a minute. We're getting scouted? Like, we're getting scouted. Like, my city's getting scouted. Well, that's interesting. My city is getting scouted by LN, and LN is an ally. Oh, they canceled. I don't know. Maybe Fleisch is watching. If so, hey, thanks for saying hi. Glad you're on the stream watching. That's funny. I hope that's the case. Maybe I should open up Kingdom Chat and see if that's true. I really like Fleisch. He was in... well, I should take a step back. So, oh, and I forgot to stop my Lohar. I got all excited about being scouted. That's kind of funny. Let's get Lohar going again. And now we can use Minamoto instead of Kusunoki since we only have one group going. And actually, we don't need to hunt 12s anymore since it's going to cost the full amount of action points anyways. Let's go hunt to 23. Let's go hunt to 23. And we're off to the races. We're going to use some action point restoration. So like I was saying, Fleisch actually, among several other of his alliance mates, joined into our alliance to help us take the level 3 pass, which was really swell of them. They also get a bunch of rewards, but, you know, like everybody wins, right? So they joined up, and they organized the rally that helped us take the level 3 pass. One of many advantages of being friends with these stronger alliances in your kingdom is that you get to do stuff together, and that's really great. I am in Kingdom 51. Kingdom 51. In my kingdom, the highest alliance is close to 500 million power. Yes, in our kingdom, that was also the case, except that they have some of their stronger members split right now between their strongest guild and one of their other ones. And let's see here. I've got someone messaging me. Fleisch is watching. That's really funny. Hey, thanks for watching. Thanks for joining. Good to have you on the stream. Um, so we're closing in here on 100 of these. Well, we needed about 100. We're closing in on 400 of the barbarians, and we'll be wrapping up the stream momentarily. If you have any other questions or stuff you want to talk about, now is the time. And I am planning to kind of stream on a more regular basis, which I'm very much looking forward to doing, and appreciate everybody joining in here. So a couple more questions. Chiskel, do you know the formula regarding damage factor skills? I don't know the formula, but I'll point out something interesting about damage factor skills, which is that even some defensive skills have a damage factor. So if you look at a commander like Charles Martel, and I know it's a legendary commander, but they actually create a shield um, on your unit, and it has a damage factor. So I think that means that talents that increase the amount of damage of your skills also increase the size of the shield, which is kind of interesting. My understanding is that the damage factor scales up or down based on the number of troops that are in your army at that exact moment in time. So that's why you would see, for instance, you can see now, if you've been watching closely, the nukes that I do are going to be a lot larger when this unit is full rather than when it is shrinking down. So we can watch that now. We'll battle some high-level units so you can see it diminish over time. So we'll watch that closely. And hey, we got a shout out here. Castlevania. Hey, cool. Good to see you, my friend. Welcome to the stream. Castle and I were having a really good conversation this morning. It was super early for me. I actually got up and I lounged around, and he and I chatted for a while, and then I actually went back to bed. Anyways, great conversation. Tomorrow we'll get the level 1 passes. Can you tell me if it's possible to share with the guild on the other side if we're allies? No, you cannot. So only your alliance can get through the pass. Only your alliance can get through the pass. We actually surrendered our level 2 pass to our feeder guild so that they can enter into the level 2 area. Okay, so if you were interested in seeing the nukes get smaller, you would see that that is happening. I've been so enthralled with the chat, I've not been paying attention to their getting smaller based on the number of troops that we have, but that is certainly happening. All right, and let's pause here. We are 1 away from completing city defense and getting to 400 barbarians defeated. I was hanging out on Legend Ronnie's stream earlier today, and I kind of asked him what he thought about getting the 400 barbarians killed. And he said, well, I did it during the Mightiest Governor, so I feel pretty good about that. And that was a pretty good idea. One of my core concepts, something that I talk about all the time, we'll just take this 13, I think, to round it out. One of my core concepts is the right action at the right time. And the idea behind right action, right time is that, look, the game is going to often come up with ways to reward you many times over for doing the exact same activity at a certain time. So if I go into the game of power, you can see here that when I do building or research or training, that I'm going to unlock goodies. That's something I was doing anyways, but I wait to use my speed ups until something like that is going on. Right action at the right time. Okay, a couple more questions. The person that kills the last troop. Yes, I really went for 400 barbarians. I did this in the name of science, and either later tonight or probably tomorrow morning, very early, I'm going to release a video that shows you what I got in this chest where I killed 400 barbarians. The hope, my friends, is that there was something better than if I did 99 of the 100 objectives. You can see over here, we can go claim this thing, city defense. Woo, we did it. It honestly was not worth the action points to go and do this unless there's something special at 100. Definitely not worth the action points. We're hoping that it works out. But if not, hey, my friends, we had fun. Barb hunting and chilling. I really appreciate everyone being on the stream. please do not hesitate to send me messages on Discord. That is the best way to reach me, or in game if you'd like. My friends, if this has been helpful, please do like, share, and subscribe. As a new content creator, it means a whole heck of a lot. And I'll be sharing more about this, but I am one of the handful of folks that were selected to be one of the official Rise of Civilization community partners, which is incredibly exciting. I'm hoping that we're going to have access to cool stuff that I get to share with you, maybe get to interview the developers. I hope. Fingers crossed. We'll see what that looks like. I'll share with you as soon as I know. But until next time, my friends, you have fun smashing the kingdom.